Hi, I'm Ben Messenger for Waste Management World. We're in Munich at the IFAT exhibition. I'm catching up with Ella Stengler on the CEWEP stand. Ella, can you tell us what CEWEP have been up to lately?
Well, we have been focusing very much on the implementation of the Waste Framework Directive, and now we are curious to see what the Commission will come up this year with their communication on the circular economy. So hopefully May, June, quite soon, they will come up with their communication, including the review of the waste targets, which is of course a very important topic for us. We hope that the Commission will be ambitious with phasing out landfilling, landfilling of recyclable and recoverable waste by hopefully 2020 and not so much later. If necessary, maybe they could take a step-by-step approach. Then we promote very much quality recycling, which hand in hand together with waste to energy will help to divert waste from landfills. And we would also like to improve the data traceability a bit. So first of all, we hope that we will do more from the resource waste than just dumping it on landfills, which is unfortunately still the main option in Europe for municipal waste. There is a better use of it with recycling, quality recycling, and then waste to energy for the remaining waste, which is not good enough for recycling. When I talk about quality waste, I hope that so far we have always been talking about quantity for recycling, and I wonder if we would have enough data, transparent data, to set some ambitious but realistic targets for recycling. So, you know, really measure what goes into a recycling plant, what goes out, what is really used in the market, because we should not only look into improving collection, we should really look into what happens with the waste afterwards. Is it really replacing virgin materials in the market? It's not, because collection is not an end in itself. So, and if we would look at this and we could achieve quality recycling, then I think the market would also trust recyclables. The people, citizens and industry would be ready to buy recycled products, and that could contribute to a growing green economy.
Okay, so possibly with the situation in Ukraine and tightening supplies of Russian gas, I guess energy is going to be increasingly important to Europe, and domestically produced energy especially. How does that fit in with waste to energy?
Pretty well. Waste to energy uses a domestic energy source. Waste is locally available, it is affordable, and it is secure. So it helps to reduce Europe's dependence on fossil fuels. And our members are quite keen to improve energy efficiency. The Waste Framework Directive, who introduced some incentives to improve energy efficiency, worked pretty well. There's still some potential to improve further energy efficiency, particularly with regard to heat and cooling. So if we would have better infrastructure, bringing the clients to link the clients for heat, the heat consumers with waste to energy plants, that would definitely improve energy efficiency. Also grid access is necessary. If this would be in place, then energy efficiency could improve so much that by 2020, taking an ambitious approach, we could produce even double the amount of energy that we produce today. That would be sufficient to supply about 70 million people with sustainable energy, local energy. And that's the equivalent amount of 75 coal-fired power plants or 6 to 9 nuclear plants. And that would definitely make sense. We have also allies on the European level. There's a Heat Alliance, about 11 European organizations, drawing attention of policymakers to boost the heat potential. That means also, coming back to waste, in Eastern European countries, whereas they are highly dependent still on landfilling, they have very often district heating systems. Okay, sometimes they need some modernization, but they are often there, and they could be used to produce heating and cooling from the waste rather than dumping it on landfills. And these are things that should be used, and we try to draw attention to politicians, not just to focus on electricity production, but also heat production and the potentials it has. particularly considering that about 45% of the end energy consumption is heat and cooling.
So Ella, I know a number of European countries are looking at possibly moving refuse-derived fuel and creating an end-of-waste criteria for that. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, actually, refuse-derived fuel makes sense. It replaces fossil fuels once it is used by industrial plants or by waste-to-energy plants. But it should definitely stay in the waste regime, because only the waste regime and waste legislation will make sure that the strict environmental requirements set in the former Waste Incineration Directive, now the Industrial Emissions Directive, will be respected. This is one point, and the other one is waste shipment. The waste shipment regulation only applies if something is waste. If RDF would be considered a product, this EU waste shipment regulations requirements would not apply, and you wouldn't have traceability where the material ends up, and it could be theoretically burned in any poorly designed boilers wherever, and that should be avoided.
Ella, thanks for your time.
You're welcome.